We're doing a fit. No. Oh, nope. Going high. Oh, you got a real sweaty palm there, buddy.
Inside Out 2 follows joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust as they've been running a successful operation by all accounts. However, when anxiety shows up, they aren't sure how to feel. The director for Inside Out 2 was Kelsey Mann. This is his first time he's directing a film, like a big film, because he did direct some shorts, I think, animated shorts, of course, but he also did write some stuff for Pixar. I think he wrote The Good Dinosaur, which is actually pretty funny because that's like one of my least favorite Pixar movies, but he also, I think, did some writing on this one for story, and he also directed it. And I'm really happy to say that he made a great film here, and it's another great Pixar film overall, so I'm excited to see what he does next. Hopefully Pixar will let him do another film. I'm wondering if, they'll do another Inside Out movie after this one, because it's probably going to be a big success. But I will say I was pretty worried going into this one because, yeah, it's a sequel to, a great Pixar movie, which is Inside Out. It's an amazing top 10 Pixar movie for me. But I think what makes this more nervous for me was the sequel aspect, because you don't really get many sequels from Pixar, and when we do, you always got to be nervous from it because the first one is already so great. But yeah, this one, it's terrific. I think it's really great. I think it's gonna be an easy watch for everyone. And the first Inside Out one, I actually did rewatch that one just the other day to get prepared for this one, because I think, it's been so long, it's been so many years, it's been almost 10 years. I think it is like needed. I think if you want to go watch Inside Out 2, I think you'll have a better experience if you do watch the first one. So I do recommend watching the first one if you haven't seen it. I don't know why you haven't, or watching it again to get ready for the second one. What Inside Out 2 captures most is the maturity of Riley in this one, because she is becoming more mature as she did turn 13 years old in this one. They do kind of have like flashback scenes, like what we missed in her life since the first movie, because she did grow up. And this one does explore puberty, which is daunting for any person, any gender. And you get some new emotions, you get the old emotions, being alarmed by the new emotions coming in. So basically the story revolves around Riley stepping into puberty, but also approaching high school. We don't really see her go to high school much in this movie. It's like the end of the movie we see her finally go to high school. We mostly see her in this movie go to hockey camp, try out for the new high school team, because that's really what the story revolves in. Her with their friends trying out for hockey camp, and she sees the new people, which are kind of like the all-stars who are already on the team, how she wants to fit into them. But I do kind of wish we got more of her in high school, even though, I mean, that would kind of look like the first movie, because the first movie is her joining a new school in a new area. So I guess it would more look like the first film instead of something new. So I guess it's fine that they didn't do that. But also, you could have done a lot of different stuff with the high school aspect, but the hockey camp stuff was still pretty good. As I said, we got the old emotions coming back. You got the favorites coming back with joy, disgust, anger, fear, and sadness. And while they aren't really on the main stage for the whole movie, as you see in the first 20 minutes, you get to, get reunited back with them. They're controlling the panel, the emotional panel, and all that before our new emotions come in. But they still have a journey that will, further their characters, especially Joy, because she still has more to be you learned, and how she can't always control, Riley and all that. Joy can't always, conceal all the bad memories and push them back in, away. In the trailer, it discussed how Joy made this new contraption which pushes the back memories to the back of your mind, which is kind of like us as humans. We have that too. We have that, like, back of our mind. We try to push all the bad thoughts to. She's kind of trying to control her a lot in here, trying to control where the bad emotions go. That does play a big part that I'm not going to get into, but I really liked how they handled that idea. One of my favorite lines that Joy has in here, which is a tearjerker for some, it's going to get a lot of people. She says, "The older we get, the less joy we have." It's a terrific line. And I think a lot of, older people, and I think a lot of parents who take their kids to this will relate to this, because, a lot of parents and older people lose their joy from all the stress that they've been given in their life, a lot of hardship they've been given in their lives, a lot of loss that people do endure. So it is a very terrific line, and it's a very true line. The older you get, the less joy we have. And I love how Joy experiences this. She has experienced a lot, and I love how she does, create these new ideas and, gets to further her character more, which I thought was great. Disgust, anger, and fear do have their moments in this one, but I don't feel like they had the same caliber of moments in the first one, because in the first one they had a lot, because they were basically in the brain, in the control panel, doing everything, because Joy and Sadness were off doing the other stuff. I do have some recasts here. You know, Fear is not played by Bill Hader anymore, which does suck. You know, we're losing some great members here, but you do have some great members joining the cast here. But I really do miss Bill Hader. I thought he was one of the, you know, best additions from the first movie. But Sadness, we gotta talk about Sadness, because Sadness gets made fun of a lot on Twitter and social media. Like, she just gets hated on, which I guess, you know, people do that because they don't like Sadness. Like, who likes to be sad at this point? But I think that she's another great character. She's so funny. Like, her lines are funny because it's just, she's so sad saying them. Like, she's like, I'm happy, but I'm also crying at the same time. I'm just walking, but I'm crying. Like, one of her favorite lines from the first one was like, I'm too sad to walk. And I'm like, I feel you, Sadness. I feel what you mean here. But she has a little interesting side plot to do here. But yeah, she's still, you know, one of the funniest members of the old Emotion Pact. Now is our fun part. We got to talk about the new emotions. You got 4 new emotions here. We're going to go by them one by one. You got Anxiety, which is played by Maya Hawke. You know her from Stranger Things, being the daughter of Ethan Hawke. And she was a terrific addition to this cast. And she did bring a lot of energy because, you know, Anxiety comes with a lot of, you know, hardships, a lot of baggage, which you do see in the trailer. It's fun how they play with these smaller details and stuff. She has a lot of baggage because, you know, Anxiety makes you, you know, think a lot. And she is all up in Riley's business at this point, trying to take away the console from Joy, and she's trying to prepare Riley for her future and testing out every outcome. I loved how they explored how helpful anxiety can be, but also how unhelpful anxiety can be by just testing everything in your brain, making you go kind of crazy, giving you panic attacks and all that. It's a great way to explore anxiety. It really was handled with, I think, some great care. I wish they did go into a little bit more detail in there and go a little bit harder on the emotional aspect with her character, but in the end, I did like how they handled her. And Envy is another one that I really just adored a lot. I loved her a lot. Io Debris plays her. You, of course, know her from The Bear, Bottom. She's doing a lot, and she really does deserve it. She brings a lot to every single one of her roles. And she's the smallest one on the team, but her voice is loud because when she wants something, she will try her hardest to get it. You know, envy is a form of jealousy, I would say, but kind of without the hatred, because jealousy is just kind of like hating on someone. Like if your friend had something, like if your friend had something that you didn't have, like they have like a, you know, new gaming device, new headphones and all that, you want to, you know, hate them because you're so jealous of them for having that cool stuff. But envy is like, you'll go out of your way to get something no matter what. You'll do it for the, you know, the good in yourself, and you'll do it because you want it. And, you know, Io really nailed this voice of like the cuteness in envy, but also just craziness, the want features of her. She really just brought her own special little, you know, hook to her, which I really did enjoy. And then you got ennui, which is straight up boredom, which everyone has in them. Sometimes, you know, you have more boredom than others in specific moments in time. I can even agree. I have a lot of boredom in me at a lot of periods of time. Like boredom can come at you strong. And I left out ennui kind of controlled the emotional control panel with her phone and while she was just sitting on the couch. Because that's true. Like boredom, you don't want to do something. You don't want to get up and do something. You just want to have your phone in your hand. And she had her phone in her hand throughout the whole movie, and when she's actually close to the panel, she still taps the panel with her phone. She doesn't even bother touching the panel with her fingers. She just does it with her phone. I thought that was a, you know, great detail to this story. So I really liked her character because it made boredom just be boredom. Last new emotion that we'll talk about is embarrassment. I think this one's played by Paul Walter Hauser, but he doesn't really have a lot of speaking lines in this one. I think he does speak once. You know, he's an emotion that we all hated while growing up and being a teenager, because embarrassment always came out at the wrong time, always, you know, catches you off guard because someone says something, you just become embarrassed straight up. And he wears that hoodie, conceals his face for the most time, which is a perfect detail, because when you're embarrassed of something, when you're embarrassed of something that you did, you just want to kind of hide away, hide your face and all that, just stuff yourself into a pillow and be like, I don't want to be seen anymore. I thought that was just a great addition. I really did like embarrassment. And, you know, sometimes he just lays on the console and just literally takes the whole thing over. And I'm like, dude, this guy's tall and he's just doing a lot. And he does also have a little bit of a side story, which I did enjoy. I do want to say a big theme, a new theme to this movie is they're talking about beliefs and, you know, different opinions, which is stuff you start to think about once you become older. You start to, you know, believe in some stuff when you become older, like believe that you're a good person, believe in, you know, some religious stuff and all that. If you are religious, believe in a lot of different things. You know, sometimes beliefs can go against another belief, but that's, you know, fine. As Riley has tested about this in the movie. You know, she's tested about being good beliefs, being bad beliefs, and all that, being the best, being the worst. Can she do what she wants to do? Can she be the best at hockey and all that? Her beliefs are really tested in this movie, and I think that's great to test beliefs because that's something that you get more of when you do become more mature. So I really did like that theme. It's one to be explored more if we're going to do another sequel, and I think it's one of the best parts of the movie. And Pixar has always been stellar in the animation department, and this is no different. I loved every detail, and probably there's a lot of Easter eggs that I didn't notice. I'm probably going to have to go see it again to see more Easter eggs. You know, the last 20 minutes have some huge moments in here, huge emotional moments like the first one did, but there's also some huge, you know, big animated moments that I thought were really great, looked really great, and the colors are popping, so the animation is, of course, brilliant again by Pixar. Let's talk about box office, because Pixar's return to form is going to be huge at the box office. I mean, the last movie with Elemental did, you know, get over 500 million worldwide, which is pretty good, but it had a pretty low opening weekend. This is easily going to become a huge opening weekend, probably the biggest opening weekend of the year. I think it's looking like 100 million, 115 million domestically. It deserves it. You know, it's a great movie and it's short. I think it's only like an hour and 35, so you're going to get a lot of show times. Pixar is returning to form, which I just love to see. So overall, Inside Out 2 is another great Pixar film, and it could make for, you know, interesting and great double feature between the first one and this one. You know, if you want to be really emotionally wrecked, you know, I did love how they discussed the idea of beliefs in this one and how it matured more, just like the first film's audience did. The new emotions were great. I wish they had some more depth to them, but that's all right. As you know, I think envy was my favorite, and I also thought that anxiety was handled very well. So Inside Out 2, I'm gonna give it a strong 8.5 out of 10. I think a lot of people will enjoy this. It's a film for everyone. I think the adults will have a lot to relate to on this one. The kids will start to learn more and more about new things that they're going to experience. So yeah, I really did enjoy it a lot. Leave your thoughts down below if you did see it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.